the OMG Hour.
Welcome, everybody. It is episode number 392 of the OMG Hour, and of course, I am, as always, Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
And I am Tico, Mr. Second Place, always in the same spot, on the right-hand side, where I reside.
I put you in your place, and I've just left you there. Tico, do you have like some kind of a drum beat going on in your house right now? I keep hearing a thump, thump.
No, my heart is just pounding away. You know what I think it is I'll fix this for next week. So I have a external hard drive that is on the desk.
Oh,
and I think it's chugging away. I normally keep them off to the side, but I didn't have an outlet over on that side, so it's like weirdly in the middle of the desk, which is a bad spot for it. I just haven't unplugged it and moved the plug portion of the thing to the other side, so I can move it into the second spot, which is fantastic story. I know, like, everybody's like, man,
I'm on the edge of my seat to see where this ends.
Tune in next week to see the next, continuing episode in the hard drive on the desk saga.
That's great.
Yeah, that's my story about that.
Excellent. Now that's, I think I don't know if we can top that. We might as well end the show here.
That's the whole idea. We tell the first half of the story and then never finish it.
Oh, wow. But you keep them coming back for more and just never getting it.
Just like that's where we, it's one of those, like, the shows that we really
shows that get canceled.
That we get, it's just like cliffhanger ending and we're not coming back. Yep. That's how we end it.
Yeah, like, okay. One of the worst ones for me, let's jump right into TV just for a minute.
All right, TV it is.
One of the worst cliffhangers that never came back for me was Sarah Connor, the Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
Right? They time jumped into the future where the war was happening, and they were all separated, and that's where they left it. I'm like, wow, that was an amazing ending. I can't wait to see next season, and we're canceled.
Yeah. Deadwood was another one that did that. Huge. Big thing culminating this like massive thing at the end of season 3, and you're like, oh man, season 4 is gonna be fantastic. Oh, canceled. Oh, wonderful. They did finally come back and make a movie to handle that, but it was more difficult because one of the main characters from season 3, the guy who played him, died.
Oh no.
In real life, and so they had to they ended up using old footage and some weird camera tricks and stuff in order to put him back in. But again, obviously the story line was changed from what season 4
sounds like something you'd see in The Rise of Skywalker with a said princess.
Yes, but it wasn't she wasn't the main focus of the story.
I know exactly.
This is the main bad guy from the season 3. He was like the big the big antagonist for season 3, and right at the end, and then they come back and the actor's dead. So it's the guy from Simon and Simon. He played Simon.
Oh, that Simon, not the other Simon.
No, the other one.
Oh, okay, Simon, not
Simon. Right.
No, okay, excellent. I got you. Anyway, big week this week. But before we start, we've already started. But anyway, click that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, get notified when we upload new videos, and give us a comment. Like, subscribe, share us out. We have now over 300 followers on YouTube, and we want more. So,
300?
Who's going to be more for me? Who's going to be my more? You.
More?
You can be my more. I know you can. Anyway, Tico, it's a big gaming week.
It is.
I think the new Kitty Powers came out this week. Obviously, everyone's rushing.
No, that got delayed.
Oh.
They got delayed. They're they want to make sure that they've moved it into the same window as Cyberpunk because they know they're going to crush Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah.
So now Cyberpunk is going to get delayed again because they're like, we can't compete.
With Kitty. No, obviously. Well, wasn't there something big that happened this week though?
Nope, that was it. Just that.
And then it got delayed, and the whole week was just gone down.
Oh, wait. I think they launched brand new consoles this week, Sean.
Oh, right. Those things we play games on.
Yes.
Right. Nintendo came out with a new console.
Nope, nope, the other guys.
Sega.
Nope, the other guys.
Atari?
No, no, think smaller.
Intellivision.
Smaller.
Game Boy. That's Nintendo.
Physically larger.
Um,
Well, way larger than that. Way larger than that.
just a little larger than the Game Boy.
Just a touch. Just a touch.
Right. The new TurboGrafx 16 came out, and no, wait, that's not it either.
Just listen. Look over your left shoulder.
Ah! Whoa!
There you go.
Those things are going to
Those
attract
things.
ants.
Like how I figured out which shoulder it was, even though that's a camera reverse.
Those
I had
things.
to think it through. I'm like,
Tico, I'm going to get ants. That's how you get
you are.
ants.
That's how you get ants, Sean.
By
That's
put-
how you get it.
By
Too much
putting sweetness on the floor.
Too much sweetness close to the floor. That's how you get ants, Sean.
PS4, PS4's successor. Let me just fix that fumble. The PS5. I've said PS4 too many times over the last 7 years. Did you realize that the PS4 launched exactly 7 years ago today?
I did not know that. How would I know that? Why would I know that?
Because
They
I
launched
was
that
there
on-
picking it up. And I
Yeah.
was also there 7 years later to the day picking up a sweet PS5. And 2 days ago, we both received an Xbox Series X. You got it shipped to your store. I got it in the mail. And fortunately, it arrived day of. I was surprised. I honestly did not expect it to get it day of, on launch day. But I got noted because we went into this week. It was Monday. Of course, it launched on Tuesday. And as of Monday, neither of us had received any information from Xbox All Access, which is
Right.
So to be clear, Tico and I both did All Access. So we were paying in Canadian $40 a month, $39.99 a month for 2 years. Gives us the box plus Game Pass Ultimate for those 2 years. So it's zero interest on the box. In fact, you end up saving about what do you figure, $50?
It was like
Total?
$50 to $60 you end up saving over if you bought everything outright in the store.
Right. So, I mean, $40 a month, you get the box, you're not paying up front for it, and which is great considering I knew I was also going to get the PS5. And so I wouldn't have to fork out, what, $1,200 in 2 days? It's ridiculous, right? So, yeah, I was wondering when it was going to arrive. We hadn't received any information as of Monday, and Tuesday morning at like 1:30 in the morning, I received an email saying, "Hey, your Xbox has been shipped." And it's going by Purelator. I'm like, "Oh. Okay, now there's hope." And it was saying it was going to be delivered that day, and sure enough, by 1:15 p.m., 1:15, it was in my hands.
Yeah, I messaged my store because I hadn't heard anything either. I messaged my store the day before. Well, actually, no, I did. I got an email around 5 o'clock at night, the night before, and it said, "Your Xbox is ready for pickup now." So
That's right. Excellent.
I called it a store. I'm like, "So I got an email saying my Xbox is ready for pickup now. So I'm coming now, right?" And they're like, No, that was a mistake." I'm like, "It says now. Oh, I'm coming now." I'm obviously not going to really do that to the guys, but yeah, it was said I could go get it. So I got that email. I, said what time. Like, I guess they were booking different times to come in.
Yeah, I had to do that too.
Come in whenever. He said, just come in whenever. I didn't have to do a book time. He's just like, just come in whenever. So I went after dropping Leah off
but
at
you're also
school.
a celebrity at that store. You used to be the manager.
I am. Yes, I built.
You trained the current manager.
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh.
No. He was. Trying to remember. I don't know. He was. I didn't.
Oh
know
no,
he was the
he's
manager at the same time.
he's the one who replaced you when you left.
No, he replaced somebody else who replaced somebody else who replaced me. There's been like a plethora of managers that have been through that store.
Okay, so then it's not the same one I'm thinking of then, because I worked for him.
No.
Okay. Then I didn't work for him.
No, I don't think you ever worked for him.
Okay.
Any case, so I went and I picked it up in the morning, and it was such a weird feeling because I went in and they're like, okay, yeah, you need to show ID, whatever. That didn't really need to show ID, but that was the process. You have to show ID that you're picking up your your console and they punch everything through, and then they hand you your receipt, and then they hand you your Xbox, and I didn't take my wallet out of my pocket, and it was just such a weird thing. It's like, here's a very expensive box for you, enjoy,
right?
And just
yeah,
it was such a weird, such a weird sensation. Like, you know, I'm gonna leave with this. I'm gonna leave with this now. And my email asking me to, you know, how I'm going to pay for it or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, because we've already.
I mean, eventually, I'm sure they will ask me to.
Well, they've already
got. No, I mean from. Yeah, but no, they're going to send you an email saying to set up a payment structure with them, like how the payments are going to go in from your account into their account.
I thought that was all set up when we ordered.
How would that just be set up? You just like.
I thought we did all that when we ordered it. Like back in September.
No. Did you give them any banking information?
I thought I did, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I forgot how it all happened. Well, that's
It's
interesting.
been so long ago.
It's like, wait, what? How are you not? I thought the payment was already starting, and it's like, you're right. Maybe they didn't take our payment. Like, I think they forgot the payment
information. You're going to get a note from them saying, "Hey, set up your payments." Basically, you'll set it up like a regular bill, and
so for you change my email address now is what you're saying.
Change your social insurance number.
Yeah.
Just change your identity, Sean.
Okay.
Just do it.
You done? Can I talk now?
I guess.
So what are your original I'm going to let you talk again. What are your initial thoughts now that you've got it hooked up? You know, you did it immediately. We both did it the same day. You jumped in. What were the first games you played when you hooked up your Series X?
So, well, the first game I played was download ridiculously large files for several hours is what I played at first.
I found they didn't take very long to load at all. Destiny took forever, but Assassin's Creed was almost like instantaneous.
You transferred, though, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you just downloaded it?
I just downloaded.
Well, you got to remember, you have, like, normal human being internet, and I live, like, you know, in the Stone Ages here, where I've got the slowest internet known to man.
That's fair.
Mine took a little longer. I believe the first game that I actually did push through was Assassin's Creed. Like, that's the first one that I actually finished completely downloading, and I hopped into that. I was able to almost instantaneous have my loaded up, and my save from
the cloud
from the cloud just was there, and I was in my game, and my God, does that look good.
It does. Now, here's the weird thing. I've got footage of Xbox Series X gameplay on Assassin's Creed. Let's talk a little bit about Assassin's Creed. What we're seeing here is what they call the glitches. There's glitches in the game that you can find, and it actually you change back into Layla in game. You change into Layla, but you're going up these weird puzzle spires. In game, it's this weird glitch, and there's messages you're finding as you get to the end of the glitch. And I'm assuming by the end of the game, it's going to be this, like, you're getting snippets of a message, and I think it's going to, once you get most of them, you're going to be able to listen to the whole message and figure out what the story is. It's very, very cool. But what's neat about the glitches, it's literally just it is a parkour puzzle glitch. So you're climbing way up or wherever, and there's light sources you have to point at things to make them solid, or you can't climb on them. But what's so cool about it is it really shows off the power of the system in its draw distance, because you are climbing so high up in the world, and you're looking down, and you're like, this is higher than even the eagle can fly, or the raven can fly in this game.
Yeah.
Right? You can't go that high even with the raven, and yet you're climbing up these massive spires. It's so cool. And it's literally just a climbing puzzle. It's nothing super hard, at least not yet. I've only done a couple of them. I love these kind of it's sort of like the meta of the game, you know. So it's now you're reminded that Layla is actually inside this virtual animus, and she's found a glitch in the animus, or in the stream that she's playing through. And so she's now climbing through the glitch in the world. It's really cool. I like it. I've only found one. There's one in Norway, so I know you haven't seen it yet, but there is one early on, so it's not too much of a spoiler to say, hey, they're here. This is a glitch.
Yeah, I can go back to Norway and check that out then.
Yeah, have you had the ability to go back? How do you go back to Norway?
So from when you go to your world map,
Yeah.
there's a button you can press to get like a full world map, and it gives you your two continents, and you just select the other continent, and you can use any of your fast travel points.
Okay.
To go back.
I guess I didn't zoom out enough, or I didn't see the world map button.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you leave Norway like really quickly in the game. I found like before you know, like it's such a big. Norway's a fairly large map, but I felt like you leave it really soon. I'm like, but I have only discovered a portion of this map.
Yeah, and you go back. I don't know if you go back later in the game. I have now experienced Norway. I've experienced England, and then of course Asgard.
Yes, Asgard. I have footage of Asgard in this reel. I started afterwards because here's the weird thing with these captures, Tigo. These captures quality is terrible. And I think I know why. For one thing, I'm streaming at 4K. So I'm playing the game at 4K.
Yeah.
And but like look how pixelated this is. This is absolutely unbelievably pixelated. But because in order for me to get more than 30 seconds of gameplay, it has to drop the quality down to 720p.
Yeah.
So not only is it extremely pixelated, but I had to increase the brightness on this in order for me to see anything on it here on the video. I cannot believe the absolute poor quality of the video capture on the Series X. In order to get any kind of footage. Like, I'm talking 3 minutes of footage.
Yeah, there might be something that's coming as a fix for that. That might be like
I hope so, because
early
this is
days. I'm
awful.
hoping so too, because obviously the One X has had much better opportunities to grab stuff. So I'm hoping that's something to be like, oh well, we messed that one little thing up. So
neither of us had issues capturing 5 minutes at a time on the Xbox One X. It was good quality video.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they've changed it to 3 minutes, and if you want 3 minutes, you've got to drop it to 720p, because at 4K, or anything higher than 720, you can only get 30 seconds at a time. And weird thing is, it didn't even give me the option to capture in 1080.
Maybe is that maybe in the settings menu somewhere? I don't know.
That is in the settings menu.
Oh, well, that seems broken.
Yeah. I have no option to save at 1080p, which I was doing on my One X. For 5 minutes, 5-minute clips. I can't do that anymore, and I don't understand why. And the clips are just awful. What did you notice in Assassin's Creed the most when you started playing? Can you stop looking at your phone?
No,
we are on a show.
What? We are? This is live? This is live?
It's being recorded live. I mean, I'm not dead.
So the first thing I noticed was how crisp everything looked. And it wasn't that it didn't look good before, but when you get something that looks that much better, it just seemed so much brighter. The shadows and everything like that just seemed.
Everything felt more natural looking. Did you find it felt way more natural looking with the sunlight and the way the sunlight was hitting the ground and all the trees and the shadows and everything?
Yeah, and that's both because I went through, I downloaded everything that I had that was Series X compatible or upgraded, and so I've gone through my entire upgraded library just to sort of see does this look any better? Watch Dogs looks amazing on the Series X.
Yeah, I have it on PS4 and now on PS5, and I haven't had a chance to really go in and look. It was in Watch Dogs for just a few minutes today. I really wasn't feeling well today, so I didn't play. Unfortunately, I literally did not play my PS5. I hooked it up, I downloaded stuff, and I launched Watch Dogs for a few minutes. But I had a massive headache and my eyes were hurting, so I'm like, I cannot stare at a screen right now. I ended up sleeping the entire afternoon away, let me tell you.
Must be nice.
Well, I'm on holidays now. I took the next week off, so I got new consoles to play with. But I did notice the reflections, in puddles and stuff, kind of stood out to me right away. It's like, okay, that looks cool. But I haven't really gotten too far into Watch Dogs to see a huge difference. Here's what I'm finding, though, Tico. I'm finding that this generation upgrade isn't as substantial as like from the 360 to the Xbox One. Because visually and graphically, everything is still 4K. The difference you're seeing is in like the lighting of the world, how the
ray
world
tracing and all of that stuff. Yeah,
right, which isn't a graphical upgrade. It is it's a lighting upgrade. So to me, it's like I don't really notice a whole lot of difference between them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and these are like the early games too. We may see better looking stuff as we move forward with that.
Sure. Yeah.
So that being said, like, you know, I also played one of the other games I played was the NBA 2K21.
Okay.
So this is a game that came out and I've been playing it quite a bit on the One X. And
yeah, no, get your terms right.
I have to stop the okay on the One X, and so now I've downloaded. It was a ridiculous size for one thing. It was 100 gigs.
Oh my god!
It's an entirely separate game.
What?
So it's an entirely separate game
for the Series X.
For the Series X, like it's new achievements and everything. It's not a smart delivery. It is an entirely different game. So a new set of achievements.
So you had to buy a new game. It's not.
No. So I bought. If you bought the collector's edition version of it, initially you got both. You ended up with.
Okay.
They gave you a free upgrade or a free download of the next gen version of it, which is what I did. It looks amazing. Like you can see individual pot lights reflected on the parquet floor.
Wow.
Of the basketball court as you're playing, and it just looks.
So you can see a significant difference in this game then.
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing what I would call a significant difference in like Assassin's Creed.
It looks prettier. It looks better. It does look crisper, better lighting and stuff like that.
Right. But visually, the world looks the same to me.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, I agreed. The lighting feels more natural. It feels like clouds are actually making shadows on the ground, which they are. Like lighting is you can physically see cloud shadow on the ground like you would in real life. Like, so to me, yeah, there is a realism in the lighting now that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
But graphically, the game looks the same, right? That to me, between the One X and the Series X. Obviously, you got load times, huge difference in load times, right? You want to do a fast travel on the Series X, you're waiting like less than 10 seconds to load up the new area. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I'm very happy with my purchase.
Are you? You haven't purchased it yet, though. You were just saying.
Now every month for the next 24 months, I can say I'm very happy with this purchase.
Excellent.
As
you continually purchase it.
As I hand them $40. Thank you. I'm very happy with this purchase.
The PlayStation 5 went on sale yesterday, the 12th, and Walmart said in Canada, Walmart said 11 a.m. it's going to be available. So once again, I told you the woes back in September when we tried to pre-order. We put it in our cart. You and I both tried to do it.
Yeah.
It was in the cart and said, okay, now purchase. And it said something went wrong and immediately it says this item is not available. It was in my freaking cart. So 11 a.m. I'm like refresh. And then suddenly it's available. I click purchase. I click pay. And it says, sorry, this item is not available. What the frack?
Yeah, so
it was less than a minute, Tico. I am not even kidding you.
So here's the problem. Walmart's inventory system is not set up for this sort of a thing. They have not upgraded their websites, their infrastructure in order to be able to handle an actual console launch. So, like, normally somebody goes online and they're buying a pair of socks and they're not really that concerned that somebody's going to snag those socks out from under somebody. So they don't...
That's
snocks.
Right. The snocks.
The snocks. They're not concerned about it, so they don't have infrastructure set up to say once it's in your cart, nobody else can buy it. So
for like maybe 5 minutes, there should be some kind of a timeout where it's no longer available for 5 minutes while you do the checkout process.
Most systems for this sort of thing allow when you do click on available inventory, it holds that inventory for, and you have like that, like it is 3 minutes or whatever it is.
Yep.
You can't just sit it in your cart and just like leave it there forever. It's available. Right. You have to complete the checkout process within a reasonable amount of time.
Right.
But it holds that product for you.
Right.
Walmart does not have that in their system, I don't think. And basically it just ends up with a bunch of grumpy people just trying to hit refresh and purchase a console. Like, just say it's not available. There's not one here. You pressed too late. Sorry, Sean. You know, and that way at least you can move on, not get there like, oh, I'm so happy. Oh. Right.
Well, that's it. It was oh good. I got one. Click, and then I go through it. It says I click and this is exactly what happened. Put it in my cart. Go to cart. Click checkout. It was still fine. I clicked checkout. I said, nope, change it to this card. I changed it to a different card. I went to pay, and it said it's no longer available.
I don't think it was available at any point during that process, to be honest with you. The second you clicked on it, it was already gone.
Maybe.
No soup for you. Soup for you, Sean.
Exactly, no soup for me. So, a good friend of mine hooked me up, because as you can see, I do have one right there. I got it today. I got a call yesterday. He saw my woes on Facebook saying this is what happened. You know, no soup for me. And he said, hey, I got availability. He's a friend of mine who works at EB, and he said somebody canceled. So if I want, I can come in and get it. So again, like you had to make an appointment. Well, didn't have to, but
I showed up. I just showed up.
But normal.
I don't have to make appointments. I'm better than those people.
Normal people who are not Tico have to basically say, I'm going to make an appointment. So 10:30 this morning, I'm at EB. I'm picking up my PS5 and it's all hooked up. Those two consoles look so great beside each other. I have them both in vertical mode. How did you store yours?
I am in horizontal mode.
I got to cancel this show now. That's just not right.
It's
not right.
It's in a calic, so I'm like, does it make sense to stand it up? Why would I do that?
It absolutely makes sense to stand it up. That's how it's designed.
Hang on. Okay, hang on. I'll be right back.
I don't like the look of it laying down for some reason. I like it standing up. Same with the PS5. I don't like the look of it laying down.
Well, and here's it is designed to be standing up, because if you look at the Xbox logo on it,
yes,
it's designed to be standing. I actually was looking at that earlier, going, I can fit this in here standing up. I'm just going to do it.
If you can fit it laying down, you can fit it standing up. The Calyx is a square.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I realized that as I'm like, I can just stand it up. And
you couldn't put a PS5 in there, though. It would not fit at all.
No, you'd need to, like, cut out some of the sections.
Yeah. The PS5 stands a good, like, several inches above the PS5, the Xbox.
I saw your two beside each other, and it's just this weird, fat guy, skinny guy combination.
Tall guy, fat guy, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Laurel and Hardy of...
It is.
Of consoles standing beside each other.
It really is. It really is. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, you go check it out. I posted that picture. Two of them side, but I think they look good side by side. Honestly, my big question to my family was, do I put the PS4 on the left or on the right? That was the big decision. But then I put it on the left. I'm like, actually, that's not bad, because now the two disc slots are actually beside each other. It actually kind of works that way.
So for all of the discs that you've got, that you're actually
exactly right, for all those
discs,
for all of those disc-based games, the reason I went with the non-digital PS5 is because of all of these. The one the
guy had and said you could take.
Well, but all of these PS4 games, I didn't want to eliminate from my ability to put in the console and play, because they'll all be playable.
You could have traded in that whole shelf to pick when you picked it up and gotten like 40 cents off.
At least 40 cents. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't want to. Maybe we've gone too much, too high, too fast.
It's funny. I didn't even think of doing trades for the PS5 when I went to pick it up today, because it was like, I'm just going to go get it. I didn't even think of going through this list and saying, what can I trade anything towards it? I guess I could have. I wasn't expecting to get it from EB. I was expecting to get it from Walmart with our staff discount. And I don't know when Walmart's getting any more now. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Can we talk a little bit more news about the Xbox? Sure. According to an article from IGN, 70% of Series X and Series S players already have Game Pass. That's a pretty significant number of people. I look at stats like this and I think, what is Sony doing? Why isn't Sony trying to do something like this?
Everybody, like, it's a proven model. This is basically the Netflix
Of course
model.
It is. Yeah.
It is a proven model. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting into it now. Like, there's 4 billion different ones for TV shows and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, this is the thing to do. Don't be like, oh, well, they're doing it and we want to be different. No, if it's something that everybody wants, it can only help you.
Yep. I mean, PlayStation has PlayStation Now, but that is literally streaming games, and it's not current gen games. Like I think maybe a couple of current gen games. I don't even think there's anything PS5 there yet. I mean, Bug Snacks, that new weird looking game, is actually free with PlayStation. It's the PlayStation Plus game this month. So as soon as you get a PS5, you immediately have Astro's Playroom, or whatever it's called, the new one. Yeah. And you have Bug Snacks if you have PlayStation Plus, because that's the free game this month. So you immediately have a couple of games to play. Plus, you have the new PlayStation Instant Collection. So Monster Hunter World, Last of Us, God of War, all of these games instantly free. And I didn't have Monster Hunter World, so I've put that in my library. God of War I have on disc, so I put the digital version in my library. A few games I had on disc only, I put into my digital library, which was cool.
Yeah.
Which is another reason I'm now kicking myself for not trading games in. So I don't know why Sony why they're not doing some kind of something to compete with Game Pass, because it is a good deal.
It's a great deal, and that's the thing. Like, everybody it's like, okay, so Game Pass Ultimate is $140 for the year, roughly, if you break it down to what you're paying for it over a 12-month
over
period.
A 12-month period.
If you take a look at the fact that that's basically 2 games, 2 AAA games, right? $79 a piece.
2 games over the course of the year, and you're going to buy more than 2 games in a year.
Yeah, but that's 2 games over the course of the year that you were probably going to buy anyways, with stuff that's dropping day one. And I hit my mic, so let's try not to do that. Day one, Gears Tactics, $80 game. Yep. Planet Coaster was a surprise in Game Pass day one. $80 game.
You were weirdly excited about that.
I was excited because I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon. I have no idea if I'm going to like Planet Coaster. I've seen it on the PC before. I'm like, oh, that just sounds like fun, just to build your own thing. I don't have no idea if I'm ever actually going to think, but I was excited the fact that it was like, I like when things are those surprise day one drops, and available now. You know how I get with available now.
Available now.
Available now. That's my thing. I don't know, but it was like a surprise thing, because I've been looking. Oh, that looks interesting. I'm interested in that game. $80. I'm like, I'm not going to buy it for $80. I'm not that interested in it. But for that to, like, all of a sudden it's out and it's in Game Pass.
Yeah,
was kind of cool to sort of see that as a day one, like, just there. I love when they drop things in like a surprise. They don't, like, no fanfare or anything like that. It's just out and in Game Pass.
Yeah.
So.
So I don't know, maybe Sony's working on something for this new gen, but I'm actually not holding my breath on that, because for some reason they seem to be sticking their guns to PS Now, and it's just not a good service in my opinion. I'm not looking for ways of streaming older games. Give me a Game Pass style thing where I can play.
Give you the option of streaming. Give you the option of streaming it or downloading it to your console, so you can play it if you want to.
But add new stuff to it.
And add new stuff to it.
That's what I'm talking. Why aren't they doing what Microsoft is doing, where all their first party games are instantly in that collection?
Yeah.
Right.
And adding to their first party things by, like, slowly, taking over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, it's like it's a nice game studio you got over there. Be a shame if we acquired it.
Right. There's a certain Microsoft doing such things.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like that, like that. I'm glad we're getting things like, all the Bethesda titles and stuff like that. And thank goodness that they announced that we're going to be getting, like, the new Fallout and Elder Scrolls 17 years from now, but they'll be in Game Pass day one, because I'm glad that announcement came.
Yes, 17 years from now, they'll be in Game Pass. They'll be in Game Pass when the next Xbox gets released.
It's going to be weird if they do release Elder Scrolls with any form of exclusivity, of not seeing the next Skyrim on 4 billion different things.
Oh, I can't see them doing that. I really can't.
Like that's their thing. Like Skyrim on my toaster was like,
Yeah.
my smart fridge. It being basically available on everything. It's gonna be weird if they don't have it available on absolutely everything.
I still don't believe they're going to. Todd Howard did say that they're not being told by Microsoft to make things exclusive. So it is a partnership with Microsoft, but
Yeah.
Microsoft is not dictating what they can and can't do, which is nice to hear.
Yeah.
So, public service announcement. I actually had to look this up, Tico, because for the last 7 years, or, well, not quite, but anyway, many years, in order to shut down the PS4, you hold the PlayStation button and it pops up a menu, and you just select power, shutdown, or sleep mode. It's very easy to do. They've completely removed the hold PlayStation menu. There is no holding the PlayStation menu anymore. So this afternoon, I'm on my PS5. I'm checking things out, and I'm like, okay, I'm too tired. My eyes are hurting. I get a headache, and I'm like, hold the PlayStation. I'm like, wait, how do I turn this thing off? I literally couldn't figure out how to turn it off, Tico. I didn't know how to turn off the console. I had to look it up online. Apparently, you click the PlayStation button to get back to the menu, you close out the game.
Yeah.
Then you click it again, and another pop-up menu comes up at the bottom, and then you scroll to the end, and there's a power button that you click on, and then click either shutdown or sleep. But there is a shorter way of getting it. Once you have that secondary menu popped up, instead of going all the way to the end, there's quite a few buttons along there.
Yeah.
And this is the button that brings up like the achievement cards and stuff like that they've added new. Apparently that row is cyclical. So instead of going all the way to the end to the right, you can just pop one to the left, and it jakes you all the way to the end. So one to the left, and then you can click power. So it's still quick to get to, but I had no idea how to do it. It was like hidden. Like, where is the power option? I'm looking up top because it's such a clean interface now. There's no icons all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you've got your list of games at the top in small, like sort of over here, there's your list of games. And when you select each game, the whole screen shows an image of that game, like an art for that game. And the theme of that game starts playing in the background.
Yeah.
And then when you click the PlayStation, down the bottom, another list of menus come along the bottom, and that's where the power icon is. But if you just click left this way, it filters you back around, and then you can turn it off. So weird that the system didn't tell you that. Like, you had to go searching for this. Other things seem to be in the right place, except how to turn the thing off. So weird. While we're on the topic of PlayStation, of course, my biggest game for next year is going to be Horizon Forbidden West. Apparently, it will not be out until the second half of the year. So, like, holiday next year is pretty much what they're saying.
That is just such a...
But I am not
surprised.
But I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping for...
your kids, listen, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
I'm disappointed. Exactly.
Sony, I'm disappointed.
I was hoping for, like, a February-March launch like the first one was.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm not really surprised to hear that, no, it's still further away. Because they've only just announced it. Right? This isn't No Man's Sky where they announce it 10 years ahead of when it comes out. So at least they're not waiting too long. It will still be out next year, hopefully. Of course, we know how games are. Everything gets delayed 25 times now before they're released.
Yes. At least 25.
In other gaming news, this is like news hot off the press right here in Canada.
This is
Ubisoft
today.
Montreal was evacuated due to some a threat. They thought there was a hostage situation. Cops were surrounding the block where Ubisoft is, like full on SWAT gear and everything.
Yeah,
right.
Employees barricaded themselves up on the roof.
On the roof, people were running up to the roof, but apparently, and it's still ongoing. But the last I heard was that they've confirmed there's no threat, and it may be a 911 hoax call. No confirmation on that yet, but it seems to be somebody called 911.
Yeah.
But right now, the last we heard was at just a
little earlier.
A couple hours ago was that they're in the process of evacuating the building and that no threat has been identified for now.
Okay, well, at least I'm glad that everybody's seemingly safe there.
Yeah.
You and I both know people that work for Ubisoft currently and have worked for Ubisoft in the past, and so I'm glad that everybody is
and at that location. Fortunately, most of the employees are still working remotely. So the regularly 4,000 employees in the building were not all there. So, that's interesting. That's happening like basically as we speak, as we record this. This is a situation going on in Montreal at Ubisoft, but hopefully if they're right, there is no actual threat. But then at the same time, why? What the frack? Who's calling in 911 calls with a hostage threat?
There's a bunch of real big jerks out there, Sean.
Yeah, they're trying to put a stop to the PS5, I guess.
Yeah,
and they chose the wrong office. I don't know what's going on. And speaking of controversies, let's move into television. Did you hear about the Mandalorian controversy from last week's episode?
Yeah, it's like something that gets Baby Yoda was like gobbling up, that creature's eggs.
Yeah, but there's so many people who are like up in arms about how are you making this a joke? Like you literally said that this frog lady's eggs were the last of her species, and yet you have Baby Yoda getting into them and eating some of the eggs. And I'm like, I didn't see it that way. Sure, it was funny, and there was a lot of eggs in there to begin with, so, whatever. But it was like, he's a baby, and we don't know anything about his species.
Yeah.
Right? He ate a baby spider, too. Come on. That was gross. That was more gross than eating the unfertilized eggs.
And he tried to eat a space frog at one point as well.
Yes. He actually didn't he actually eat it? No, he did eat it. He did eat a frog.
No, he had it in his mouth, and then like the kids laughed at him, and he let it slip out.
I know, but there was another one where he did eat it. He went,
"Oh, it's probably listen, he'll eat stuff. That's just what he does.
He's a baby, whatever Yoda is."
Yeah, and so whatever, it's fine. Like,
I can't believe people were up in arms.
Upset about this. Like, get upset about like the morons out there shooting elephants and rhinos and stuff like that.
Why are you getting upset about a fake television show? It's not real.
Is it going to make it easier or better for them if, like, all right, now we'll just put it in canon that there's an entire planet of the frog people, so now it's okay to eat the eggs? It's not the last of a...
Right? It's just so ridiculous, though. I don't get it.
Let me put it this way.
How is this the hill to die on?
Yeah, there's more of those eggs than there are Yodas, so he needs to eat.
Right?
If he doesn't eat, technically his species is going to... Like, there's only one of those.
Well, we don't know that, though, but maybe.
Well, we don't know how many eggs there are. We just, like, this one chick says, hey, I'm the last. Like, how does she know?
Yeah, right? Know. How does she know she's the last? Last of her kind. I don't know if she said the last of her kind or the last of her line.
I think she may have said last of her line, which means, like, her family line.
Yeah.
And they got a messed up system, too, like living solar systems apart, when you're trying to get busy. Like,
right? What?
Like that? Why such a long distance relationship between her and her husband? If you're gonna
pick on something, pick on why the heck they have a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, why is this the hill you're dying on? Why is this the controversy over a Star Wars television show with a cute little baby Yoda? It's not even real, people.
Yeah. Nobody had a problem with all the spider creatures getting killed, which,
right?
by the way, I didn't have a problem with because those things were creepy
spiders. They were just hatched too. They're baby spiders.
Yeah. They popped out of alien egg sacs, too.
They did.
The
Did
way
you?
that thing opened
Okay.
up, I'm like,
I think most everybody watching this show knows you hate spiders because, you just do. How did you feel about that entire episode with spiders? It's spiders all
they were
over
creepy
everything.
spiders too.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was not a fan of that. I am not a fan of spiders. I am not a fan of webs. I have, don't like them. Not a fan.
So that was your
That's
favorite
like-
episode, is what you're saying.
I liked the episode. It was fun. The guy from Kim's Convenience was in it as
Kim Convenience, and Dave Filoni was the other. Dave Filoni, who's the producer and creator of the of Rebels and Clone Wars, and of course he's one of the producers behind the show.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni is the man everyone says should just take over Star Wars because he gets it. Like, and he really, I completely agree. Dave Filoni just gets it, right? He understands Star Wars. He was the other X-Wing pilot that pretty much didn't have any lines at all. He just stood there, which is funny.
There. But I love that Mr. Kim was in a Star Wars show now.
Star Wars, I've never seen Kim's Convenience. Was it good?
It's actually very funny. It's Canadian, fully Canadian.
Okay.
It is set in Toronto.
Okay. Is it still is it still on, or is it done now?
It's still on. Yeah, they're about to go into season 5, I think.
All right.
Yeah, it's a very good show. Like, I started watching that and Schitt's Creek right around the same time, and they're both
I
both
could
very much
not
worth the
get
watch.
into Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
All right.
Clearly.
Apparently my daughter thinks so too. She was like ecstatic about the show, and she couldn't wait for the finale when it was going on.
It was such a good show, Sean. Just
okay. Sure.
Just You
done? One more.
All right, I got something to say.
Oh.
Apparently, when we complain about things, people take note. We say, "Damn it, Disney! Why have you not announced any dates for our Marvel TV shows when we've got so many Star Wars ones already announced?" Stuff like, and what did they do for us, Sean?
Well, they announced that WandaVision will be coming to Disney Plus on January 15th, 2021, which now officially makes 2020 the first year with no Marvel products in the movies or on television. And I'm thinking to myself, by the time the next movie comes out, which I think is April.
Presently.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be 2 years since the final chapter of Phase 3. Right? Yeah. Spider-Man was the final chapter of Phase 3. Black Widow is the first chapter of Phase 4. And I find that very interesting and very convenient. Not in a suspicious way, just convenient that we had like Phase 1, 2, and 3, which was one big, huge, overarching story.
Yeah.
Finish. And then the new one doesn't start for another 2 years. It's almost like it's just the perfect, like, just stick in the mud. Let's put a cork in it. Let's wait a while. Now we're going to launch a whole new story with 2 years in between. So you don't have to worry about what happened. We're just going to start fresh. I think
new stuff.
It's actually not bad that it turned out this way.
It's not terrible, but I still want my shows.
Oh no, believe me, I want my shows, but I find it very interesting that that's how it turned out. That there's this massive gap between the two stories.
Yeah, I have concerns that movie theaters are still going to be pushing things back as we get further and further.
If it continues that way, I feel like Disney's going to make a different decision.
Disney Plus, where all of their premium stuff is for more money.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't go that way.
I shouldn't say stuff like that. We end up having things that we say randomly on the show just happen. So erase that from anything.
Yeah. I would not put it past Disney going, you know what, we're just going to do this digitally. I'm sorry, Black Widow, but we need to get this out there.
It's because it's holding up everything at this point. Like you can't like some of the TV shows are tied into falling at the right times within the movie. So at a certain point, it's just got to happen. It's got to happen. Just do it. Just do it.
Because there's a continuity, right? They are actually this movie, the Marvel movie series and television series is a continuity that they keep in order. They got to keep that continuity going. Right? They've already switched Shang-Chi and the Eternals, right? Shang-Chi was supposed to be first. Now the Eternals is first.
Right, and then the Doctor Strange and the multiverse stuff is going to tie into so many of the storylines that has to come out at a certain point in order for the other stuff to come out.
Right. WandaVision is going to lead right into Doctor Strange, and then Doctor Strange is going to impact Spider-Man.
Yes.
Right. So it has to be in order. Right. You can't do one without the other.
You can. It just really mess up.
Oh my gosh, it would be so bad, right? Can you imagine watching that out of order?
Like, that's like watching Endgame first and then going back to watch, like, the first Avengers afterwards.
The Infinity War, yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, wait, I did this backwards. It's weird.
Yeah. But at least we have a date. January, things will start. There apparently Winter Soldier is going to do reshoots. So they're fixing things up there. Still no word on Loki beyond what we said last week, where apparently it's been renewed for season 2, and they haven't even aired season 1. So
what they should do is just like put it on and hide it in the background, like, on Disney Plus, and just like, it's been out for months. What are you talking about?
Right.
Like, people just like don't put it, like, don't advertise it. Just like put it on the back end of the Marvel things. Like, people who happen to scroll all the way to the end will see it.
It's like, Loki. Wait, when did this hit? Yeah. Just backdate it.
Yeah, just put it in. It's like, oh, this has been out for like 3 months. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, things are happening. Television is starting up again. I'm pretty sure that two of our favorite shows, Dorothy's and mine, is the Grey's Anatomy and Station 19, which we love how they're connected. They apparently started again this week. So
2 episodes of Grey's Anatomy, by the way.
2? Was it 2-hour premiere, or
episodes 1 and 2? I don't know. I'm just telling you. 2 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. 2 episodes for you.
What about Station 19?
1 episode of that for you, Sean.
Interesting premiere. Yeah. So we'll be watching that. I know other shows have started. What else has started up? The comedies have all started up, like Young Sheldon, Superstore. Can we talk Superstore for a second? Superstore, the last 2 episodes, great. But it's when America Ferrera left. So Amy, the character of Amy, has left the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but I feel like, well, that was the last great episode of Superstore.
Yeah, the most recent episode was meh.
Is there another one there now, sans Amy?
Yes.
Okay, so I have not seen it yet, but I thought the final episode, Amy's final episode, was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like the show can do it without Amy. Like, Amy's like the central character. Always has been.
They can... it might be okay, and we'll have to see, but it's been... Yeah, it's going to be a little odd. It's almost like it's going back to season 1-ish type thing, because... Maybe. I don't know, spoilers, but, Glenn's back in charge of the store.
Glenn's the manager again. Which I assumed that was going to be the case, honestly, when they said Amy was leaving. I just like, okay, well, yeah. I think Glenn as manager was great. I think Glenn as the manager was really funny, and I'm glad he's back as the manager. I feel like for Jonah, because it's always been the Jonah-Amy relationship.
Yeah.
I think they need to bring Kelly back.
Yeah, and have him get into a new relationship, maybe.
You remember Kelly? She was so great. Like, she's sort of ditzy and like...
The tiny blonde?
Yeah. I think they need to bring her back for Jonah. Obviously not right away, but whatever. I mean, I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
We'll see. I love the show, but I also loved the show because of Amy.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I love Glenn, Jonah, and Amy. They're all great. But it's like, I feel like Amy really made the show.
It feels a little like this episode felt a little like sort of a holding pattern sort of thing. Which direction are we going to go? Like, just sort of hovering as opposed to like really taking a new direction.
Just putting out the feelers, figuring out where we're going to go.
Yeah, like what are we going to do moving forward? I don't know. Maybe it'll be great. Maybe it'll suck. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we'll watch it anyways.
I'll watch it. I watch it till the bitter end. I am just that way with shows. I don't quit a show.
No. No, unless it's really bad.
Unless it's something like the OMG Hour, in which case I quit that at 400.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I stopped watching it,
Thanks, Tico.
Episode 169.
170 you stopped watching.
Yeah, I stopped watching there. That's where it jumped the shark. It really took a dive after
dive after some Tico guy entered the show. Yeah. It's just...
Listen, I want to point out, I was promised steak knives. I never received steak knives. So you get what you pay for.
Obviously. And I'm not sure what you're paying for.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, you don't the steak knives don't go away. You don't get top-notch quality out of me.
All right. Well, that's
Just
fair.
saying.
Well, in that case, let's put this show to bed so that we can go watch new shows.
All right,
This has
I'll
been
allow it.
episode number 392. Of course, give us a like, subscribe, and comment right here on YouTube. If you're not watching us on YouTube, please come over, check us out, because that's where we're going to be when this audio podcast ends. YouTube.com/OMG Nexus. We got some great content there. You can follow the show for now on Twitter at the OMG Hour or at OMG Nexus. You might want to start moving over there too. Just saying. Of course, we're also on Facebook as OMG Nexus. But I am Zion Tane everywhere, and that is XIANTAYNE.
It's always weird when you do that.
I know.
You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place. I'm not pointing at it. You can look there if you want to read it. Go ahead.
Look where, Chico? Look where?
Right above my head. Right above my head, Sean.
Where? I can't see it.
Listen, I'm still doing my bit here. I have the whole next part I have to say about Instagram and following us there for the board game stuff, flipping tables with OMG.
Yes, we like to flip tables.
Yeah, that's all my lines.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for watching. This has been episode 392. We'll talk to you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Now, do you want to point? Can you point now somewhere?
Which way? Up?
Point over there.
Hang on.
Over there.
There's the pointer finger.
No, other way. There you go.
There we go.
Check out
Yeah,
those
the button.
videos and give us a subscribe right down below. Thanks everybody for joining us. Chico does not know how to point.
I know how to point.